brand new, again, this is 1 hour. The first half of the chat is classroom. Second half of the chat, we do something fun. If you're ever lost and you can't figure out, I don't know which part of the chat we're in. If you're watching this later on YouTube, it's when I put the apron on. So, whether or not we are making food, hello, Patty. Patty is saying hello to Mary. Hello to you too, Mary. So, if you're watching this later on YouTube and it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. If you don't know which part of the chat we are in, we are, yay, Mary and Patty found each other. We are, Debbie, stop. Okay, Debbie says, you can buy an ice maker that makes that kind of ice. I'm not buying an ice maker. You've seen how many toys I have. I do not need another toy that makes ice. I'll just once in a while treat myself. And also, if I make it, then it's no longer a treat, okay? If I have one of the girls stop, she wanted to do it as a treat for me. She wanted to get me something to drink. She wanted me to get me something to drink, and I was like, yeah, no. I don't need anything. I don't need anything that has any points or calories or whatever. How about just a cup of ice? So that was perfectly fine with me, and it still made it a treat. And I don't know what in the world I just did to my hair here, so I'm just trying to get it out of the way. Okay. Sorry. Well, I keep fooling with it. Okay. We'll leave it alone. Anyway, this is the second half of chat number 342. We're talking about how to deal with, challenging situations with food. And in the first part, we were talking about, Thanksgiving is coming up in just a few days here, and kind of some things, how you were going to plan for that, if you were going to be an A, a B, or a C in that plan. In the second half, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about some Thanksgiving planning. So I'm not going to artificially sugarcoat this, okay? So saving the point, so I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm just not artificially sugarcoating it either. I will be eating foods. We're not having Thanksgiving on Thursday. Our Thanksgiving is going to be on Sunday. If John, fingers crossed and prayers said, if John can make it back from North Dakota on Wednesday night, as said, we're actually working on Casey's deck all day Thursday while her husband, and her children are gone, because we've decided that John and I, at 56 and 57 years old, can get more done. We can get more done in a few hours while they're gone instead of everybody out there helping us. So anyway, our Thanksgiving is not going to be on Thursday. Ours is going to be on Sunday. I already told you that my sister is the butter and love person. She's making a lot of the food. My brother and his wife are also excellent cooks. My brother likes to smoke everything, and my sister-in-law just makes, all the yummies. Okay, so I will be eating, not going to sugarcoat it, not going to artificially sugarcoat it, on Sunday for me, which is my Thanksgiving, not Thursday. I will be eating foods that are laden with butter. I will be having foods that have weird kinds of fat in them that I don't normally eat. Lord knows what else I will be eating on Sunday. Okay, that's when we're having our family Thanksgiving. And I'm going to love every minute of it, because this is one meal on one day. But because I'm a B, so in that plan, I am a B, I do two little spoonfuls, not two gigantic spoonfuls. I do 2 little spoonfuls of all of my favorites, because let's face it, I've been eating with these people my whole life, okay? So the only thing that's different is all of my grandparents are dead. My parents have passed away. John's dad has passed away. His mother is in an assisted living with memory care facility. That just means we do not have a second Thanksgiving that involves Kentucky Fried Chicken, okay? His mother did not cook at all. We had Kentucky Fried Chicken with hers. But this particular group of people, my brother, my sister, their spouses, and their kids, me, my husband, and my kids, we've all been eating together for a long time, okay? I know what we're having. I already know what it all tastes like. There are no surprises. So I'm a plan B'er. I put a couple of small spoonfuls of my favorites on the plate. I don't eat anything that I can eat any day of the year. Casey has already requested her favorites that I make that are lower points. So I will be bringing deviled eggs, a broccoli pasta salad, and what else am I bringing? Deviled eggs, broccoli pasta, green beans. So deviled eggs, broccoli pasta salad, and green beans. My green beans are 0 points. The deviled eggs are very low points. And then it's like 1 point for a half, for the half, that's a deviled egg is the half the half one, the half piece. And then my broccoli pasta salad, also low points. And you can already find that on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. If you go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, you can find my hot bacon broccoli slaw recipe. Except for Thanksgiving, I add some pasta to it, just because they request pasta. They think it has to have pasta in it at Thanksgiving. And then the deviled eggs, I have like 6 different recipes for deviled eggs on If You Have an Egg. Yes, that's exactly right. Sarah says, if you have an egg, deviled eggs. That's exactly right. I have like 6 different recipes for deviled eggs on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And I show you how to make them in the air fryer. And then we had a chat where I also made them in the Instant Pot. So I'll be making, let's see, I bought 18 times 2, that's 36, 72. I'll be 72, is that right? I'll be making 72 halves. Is that right? 18, 36, 72. Where is John? I need him to do some math. Yes, 72 deviled eggs. So it's 72 of the halves, and I promise you there will be none left, and they are all low, they're all low points. Okay, so that's why I'm a B. So I will make sure that I'm outside with the small children. So this year we will have a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, an almost 2-year-old, and a newborn in attendance for Thanksgiving. My brother and sister-in-law have a trampoline, woods, squirrels to chase, 2 dogs, all kinds of stuff going on. So I will make sure that I'm outside most of the time. I will have extremely low points for breakfast that day, and probably not much of anything for dinner that night. But in that middle point, I am eating what I enjoy. So since I'm a B, I have to plan some of these things that are going to be lower point, and that I can enjoy. So I'm going to talk to you about some smart swaps, though. What I have to make smart swaps on the things that I'm making, or on some of the things that my family will make, so that I can enjoy these higher point, higher calorie, higher fat laden, higher sugar content, whatever, so that I can have, these things. I need to do some smart swaps. So the list I'm getting ready to go over, that is in no way, shape, or form every smart swap that there is, okay? If you go back and watch every Thanksgiving episode, or these episodes, chat, if you go back and watch every Thanksgiving chat that I've done for the last, I think, 7 years, I think we've been doing this about 7 years. If you go back and watch every Thanksgiving episode, they all involve swapping something. I promise you there are smart swaps. I may not call them smart swaps, but I promise you there are smart swaps in every single one of them. So I'm going to go over a few smart swaps that may or may not be used this year. And then we're going to go over a lightened up recipe that Jody from our in-person POW group gave me. So you have to stick with me all the way to the end, okay? Also, before I start, Debbie says 0 point breakfast so you don't go in starving. Exactly. That's exactly right. So go in with a plan. Don't go in starving. Do what you got to do. Okay, so a normal Thanksgiving ingredient for us might be Jell-O. Simple, just Jell-O. Some kind of gelatin. It might be a Jell-O mold. It might be some kind of a Jell-O casserole. Regular Jell-O gelatin, and that's just the Jell-O brand. It doesn't have to be Jell-O brand, but normal Jell-O gelatin is 1/4 of a package, which is approximately a serving, is 5 points. If you get a sugar-free gelatin, and again, that could be Jell-O brand, it could be Simply Delish, which is what I'm going to talk about here in a few minutes, that is 1 point. So right there, you've already saved 4 points. So if you just switch from a regular gelatin to a sugar-free gelatin, smart swap done, you have saved 4 points. Okay. Another thing that you can save some major points on, and so this is an example, sorry, I meant to hold this up. This is an example of a sugar-free gelatin. If you don't like Jell-O, or if you don't want, if you need to eat vegan or plant-based, this one is Simply Delish this one is a sugar-free plant-based gel. It's a gelatin-free dessert, so it doesn't have gelatin in it, which means it does not have horse's hooves, or hooves crushed up in it. But it is, here it is. It is vegan, non-GMO, plant-based, keto certified, lactose-free, nut-free, and gluten-free. So if you do some kind of a sugar-free Jello, gelatin, or like I said, this Simply Delish, this is what my mom used to use, and it's what I've started using. Hello, Melissa. We are in the process of moving, yeah. So we're still in the process of doing that. So not moved yet. John is on his second trip to North Dakota. I got to get him to stay home first. But anyways, okay, so that's an example. That's where you could say 4 points just switching from a regular gelatin to a sugar-free gelatin. Okay, most of the recipes, oh, I'm sorry, Julie, this brand I got here in Knoxville at Kroger. So if you have the equivalent of Kroger, you should be able to find this. I have not looked to see if they have it on Amazon. But the brand name, I know it's backwards, but that's the brand name, Simply Delish. And yeah, so Sylvia's soon-to-be daughter-in-law is vegan. Don't make Jello. If she's really vegan, if she really knows what it means to be vegan, she will not appreciate it if you make her regular Jello. Okay, one of the recipes that we were working on calls for a cup of sugar. Hello, Susie. Calls for a cup of sugar. 1 cup of regular cane sugar has, are you sitting down? I need y'all to be sitting down first. 1 cup of regular cane sugar has 56 points. 56 points. Jody, whose grandma's recipe we're going to go over here in just a second, has introduced me to Swerve. And I'm not saying that Swerve is going to, and yes, I know it's backwards. I'm not saying Swerve is going to replace my Trivia. I haven't decided yet, but I bought the Swerve because I needed to make Jody's recipe just as it was intended. And Swerve granulated is, for 1 cup, is 0 points. 0. What? And Sarah has Swerve there too. So Swerve has 0 calories. It says it's 1 for 1, measures like granulated sugar, great for baking, no artificial flavors or preservatives, gluten-free, 0 net carbs. It's erythritol. So if you have, if you've got artificial, or if you have sugar substitute tummy troubles, just know that this has erythritol, allulose, natural flavor, and xanthan gum in it. So it has those in it. But again, it's 0 points. Okay, so that's Swerve. So that's, if you needed to use sugar in a recipe, 1 cup is 56. A cup of Swerve is 0. That's a lot. Okay. A turkey leg. So turkey legs are delicious. I love them. A regular turkey leg with skin is, for 3 ounces, is 4 points. A turkey breast tenderloin, like my Batman's turkey breast tenderloin, if you prepare it that way, is 0 points. So that's another 4 points that you could shave off just by making, instead of buying a big honking turkey, you know, and everybody doesn't eat all the parts and whatever, a turkey breast tenderloin, and if you cook it, hello Joycelyn, if you cook it, great grandson, how old are you? How are you old enough? I didn't think you, how are you old enough to have a great grandson? I thought you were just like my age. But anyway, if you get a turkey breast tenderloin and make it according to my Batman's turkey breast tenderloin recipe, it is 0. It's 0 points. So that, you're 73. I had no idea. You look fantastic, baby. So a turkey leg with skin, 3 ounces is 4 points, or a very juicy, very, 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 very juicy, like it's one of our top favorite things to eat, turkey breast tenderloin, 3 ounces is 0 points. So there you've saved another 4 points. White gravy, I don't know if you like to put gravy on anything at Thanksgiving or Christmas or the holidays or special occasions, but white gravy, 1/4 of a cup of white gravy is 2 points. 1/4 of a cup of turkey gravy, and you can get it in a little jar. You can cheat and get it in a jar. But hello Marcia, but a 1/4 of a cup of turkey gravy is 1 point. So that's just a 1 point difference, but that's 1 point. So that's 1 point that I could put towards that yeast roll, or that I could put towards, you know, that Parker House roll, or I could put towards, I don't know, broccoli casserole or something. Okay, so that's another point. Regular pasta is 6 points per serving. You could get a whole wheat pasta though, because remember I'm going to be putting pasta in my broccoli slaw. My hot bacon broccoli slaw is what it's called on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So regular pasta is 6 points per serving. Sometimes I'll lighten it up with whole grain pasta for 4 points, or you can get something like a chickpea pasta and a lot of the chickpea pastas, it's 3 points. So I can save anywhere from 2 to 3 more points, which I don't know if you've been keeping track, but just in this handful of things, I've already saved 4. We're not going to count 56 for the sugar because that was part of a recipe, but let's say that was 5 points or something. So 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's already 16 points that I've saved just by that handful of Smart Swaps. But Bonza chickpea pasta is 3 points for a serving, so you could swap out something like that. And this is going in a pasta, this is going in that hot bacon broccoli slaw. Now it's going to be a pasta salad thing. You know, they'll never have any clue. My civilian family members, unless they watch this chat, which they're not going to, they will never know that that was made out of chickpeas. Okay, the next one is sweetened dried cranberries. So I need that for one of the recipe for this broccoli slaw I'm talking about. Sweetened, regular sweetened dried cranberries, 1/4 of a cup is 4 points. Or you can get reduced sugar dried cranberries, 1/4 of a cup is 3 points. Again, that's just 1 point, but I think now I'm up to like 17. Cream of mushroom soup. A lot of the things that we make for Thanksgiving and sometimes for Christmas have a cream of something soup in them. Cream of mushroom soup in particular, 1/2 a cup is 4 points. Cream of mushroom soup, if you get the healthy choice variety or a lighter variety, is 2 points. So there's another 2 points. I think I'm up to 19 now. Cream cheese, Lordy mercy. Cream cheese might as well be sugar. It might as well be the thing of sugar. Cream cheese, I need 1 cup of cream cheese for one of the recipes that I'm making. 42 points. 42 points in a cup of cream cheese. We'll not be doing that. I'll be making my fat-free cream cheese, which is also already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You just go to www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. In that little search bar, type in fat-free cream cheese, and I will go through the entire explanation of how to make it. 0 points. 0. So instead of, you can pick 42, or you can make your own cream cheese, which makes itself overnight. You literally just dump it in the thing and cover it up, and it makes cream cheese overnight. The easiest thing I've ever made in my life. 42 point saving. Okay, so however many points I'm up to now. And then the last thing is canned, because I want to go over Jody's lightened up recipe. Canned cranberry sauce, 1 can is 34 points. 34, or a 12-ounce bag of fresh cranberries, 0 points. So I don't know if y'all have been doing the math on that, but, and I know we're not eating the full recipe of some of these things, that's a lot of dang points. Okay, so Jody, who is in our in-person workshop there in Powell, she was kind enough, she was so sweet, to give me her grandma's recipe. So she has been trying to recreate this. She had gone home to West Virginia for a few days, trying to clean up some stuff at the old homestead. And if y'all don't know what a homestead is, you need to come visit the South for a little bit. But she had found, or had, grandma's recipe for it was like a cranberry orange salad. It was like it's a Jello. It's still considered a salad, but it's a Jello salad. And she gave me the recipe. She's been working really hard on getting this lightened up. So I'm going to take it a step further. I went ahead and tried her recipe as she gave it to me. And I'm going to show y'all how it turned out. So the normal recipe, and this will all be posted on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. Do not try to write all this down. You will drive yourself crazy, okay? So the normal recipe has a cup of walnuts, a cup of chopped walnuts, water, of course. It has normal raspberry Jello, sugar-laden raspberry Jello, orange juice, crushed pineapple, cranberry sauce, and then it has a whipped cream, like a whipped cream cheese topping. Okay, that one I'm still trying to work out, but I think we got the Jello salad. I think between Jody and I, we've got the Jello salad. A couple of pro tips though, and I'm going to tell you what we subbed out before we run out of time here. A couple of pro tips though. Don't wear white while you're making this. So I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but I have on a darker blue sleeveless shirt that I did not intend to wear tonight. Yeah, don't wear white while you're making this recipe. Just a heads up, just a pro tip. You know, maybe don't wear the white apron either. Maybe wear the darker colored apron. I'm just saying, you know, heard that from a friend. Okay. Also, check your gelatin box. So I'll be contacting the fine people at Simply Delish. Fortunately, I had another one of these over here in the pantry at here at Casey Kitchen Center, because I opened this container and cut the top off, and there is not, and never was, look how clean that is. There never was any gelatin in that. Okay, so I will be contacting them and asking them, pretty please, for a free thing of gelatin, because that one was completely empty. And fortunately, for the sake of the chat, I had another one of these over in the pantry. So that's pro tip number 2, is make sure that your ingredients actually have in them what you needed. Pro tip number 3 is make sure that your food processor is where you need it to be. I had to use an immersion blender to do all this, and it was not fun. It worked, but hence why I do not have on the white shirt anymore. Make sure you know where your food processor is, and then pro tip number 4, don't use as much water as it says on the back of the box. Use what your friend Jody told you to do. Okay, so here is Jody's recipe. So remember, Jody's grandma's recipe had chopped walnuts, water, regular raspberry jello, sugar-laden raspberry jello, orange juice, crushed pineapple, and whole berry cranberry sauce, and then this like whipped cream cheese topping. Okay, so instead of the can of cranberry sauce, the can of cranberry sauce had 34 points. Jody substituted a 12-ounce bag of cranberries. And let me see, I think I have the bag right here. I can show you real quick. So this is what a 12-ounce bag of cranberries, just whole cranberries. She substituted that. Instead of the regular Jell-O, she substituted sugar-free. She did use Jell-O brand. Instead of a cup of sugar, the sugar-free Jell-O would have been 4. She substituted the plant-based Jell-O. Instead of the cup of sugar for 56 points, she used a cup of Swerve, and we're going to taste it here in just a second to see how it turned out, because I haven't tried it yet. It smells good, but I haven't tried it yet. Instead of freshly squeezed orange juice, we used a navel orange, and even used the peel in here. She swears to me that this is going to be okay. Jody swears that this is going to be okay with the peel still in it. Got rid of the seeds, but left the peel on it. That's 0 points instead of 4 points like the orange juice would be. The crushed pineapple, didn't use anything, close to that. Instead, we used a Granny Smith apple, which was 0 points. And instead of the cream cheese topping, I haven't had time to figure out the topping, so I'm just going to use some non-dairy Ready Whip. So by my calculations, this is a difference of a whopping 98 points. 98 points. God, that smells good. Oh my gosh. Okay. I wish we had smell-o-vision. This smells so good. Like I need to bottle this and somehow spritz it around the showroom. This smells so good, and it smells so much like Thanksgiving. So again, by my calculations, swapping out the sugar for Swerve, I did use some pecans in this. I used a quarter of a cup of pecans, not a whole cup of chopped walnuts. I used an apple instead of pineapple. I used fresh cranberries instead of the cranberry sauce. So all of that together, by my calculations, and I will have figured this out by the time we print this or post this, is about 98 points for the entire recipe, or 10 points for the serving difference. So 10 points. And Melissa says, I can't wait to try this. Okay, so this is why I said use as much. I have a feeling this is going to be kind of runny when I get it out. Use what Jody says, the amount of water Jody says, not what it says on the box. So the way Jody, and it is going to be mushy. Okay, so the way Jody's family made it, I should have been able to slice this, but because I used the amount of water that was on the package instead of what Jody told me, mine's a little runny, but I think it's still going to taste the same. So here it is in a little plastic cup so that y'all can see it. Open. I'm not even gonna cheat and lick my fingers so that I don't know what it tastes like. That's what it looks like in a little plastic cup. So again, cranberries. Oh my gosh, I better hurry. Okay, cranberries, an orange with the peel. Oh, it's got a tiny bit of celery in it too. A Granny Smith apple, the tiniest little bit of pecans, the sugar-free gelatin. Yeah, some water, swerve instead of sugar. Okay, so let's try it. Well, first I'm going to try it without. I'm going to try it without the whipped topping. And again, you need a food processor. I used my immersion blender, and my hands are tired. And I had to change shirts. Okay. Oh, that's very good. Oh gosh. That teeny tiny tart, the teeny tiny tart. Let's put just a little bit of this on your. That teeny tiny little tart from the fresh cranberries instead of from cranberry sauce. Wow, that was good. Okay, so let's try it with, and this is just non-dairy Ready Whip. No, did not cook the cranberries first. I know, Julie. This is just non-dairy Ready Whip, and I'm gonna work on that that cream cheese, the cream cheese. What'd she call it? Whipped cream. I can't believe this. The rind on the orange, it just tastes like, pardon me, while I just consume this whole thing. That is so good. You can't even tell that there's orange rind in here, and I just saw a tiny piece of it. How is that even possible? That's crazy. Okay. Winner, Jody, I think you're done. So, other than us trying to figure out what this cream cheese whipped topping is, girl, I think you nailed it. I don't know what grandma's tasted like, but I don't care. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Melissa says, I wouldn't be upset if we sampled this Tuesday night, LOL. If there's any left Tuesday night, I will bring it and let you all sample it. Just know that it'll be mushy unless I go through all this again after I find my food processor and make another batch of it. Really good, Jody. You nailed it. So good job lightening up your recipe. If you all have any recipes that you want help with lightening up, share them in our If You Have an Egg Facebook group. These ladies are top notch on finding ways. I'm serious when I say this. They are like pro level, finding ways to lighten up recipes and make them healthier, better for you, but taste just as good. Again, I don't know what grandma's version tasted like, but this is stinking good. This is so, other than the fact that I made it too runny, that is, I mean, wow. And I can still keep tasting like orange, a tiny bit of apple, that little tartness from the cranberries. So good. So way to go, Jody. This was excellent, excellent. Good job, girl. I think you nailed it. I think you can just leave it alone. We'll just figure out the cream cheese topping part of it, but you have nailed it. So you all have a great week. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you'll take some of these smart swaps and you'll use them this week, because everybody needs to have, what have I got left here now? Like 20 something points that I can use on one of those homemade Parker House rolls or some extra broccoli casserole. You know, I don't know. So y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great and blessed week. I know y'all all have lots of things to be thankful for, and I am very thankful for you. If you are watching this later on YouTube, please go ahead and let that next video roll over. I promise you will enjoy it. And please, please, please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you all again very much. Enjoy, and I will see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Good night.